Hey folks, I'm going to talk about misleading advertising and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the city of Toronto for week ending September 6, 2023. Over the weekend, an ad came across my computer and it was a video ad and it was talking about buying pre-construction. Let me say that what I'm about to talk about has nothing to do with whether you should buy pre-construction or not. That's not the point I'm bringing this up. But the video was this gentleman, he was a realtor, and he was talking about how he got into the real estate and he bought a pre-construction condo, and years later, by the time it was ready, the value had gone up so much that after he closed on it, he was able to pull out $200,000 in equity and put that towards another property. He had rented out the condo, life was good, and he was on his way to accumulating real estate. That's a really nice story, and I know lots of people have experienced personally similar stories to that. My issue with that is that it's not today. That happened a while ago, and lots of people experience that kind of growth, but not today. And the gentleman went on to say, so call me if you want to get into the real estate market, and you should be buying pre-construction right now, and it's simple to get in, you pay a little bit at a time, and he goes on and on. And that may be true, but that was a while ago. It's not today. Like I've said it 3 times now, not today. There are condo buildings getting ready to close, and there's lots of those condos for sale on assignment. So the buyers who bought 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, they can't close on these condos or don't want to close on these condos. Maybe they can't get financing because the whole mortgage industry has changed. Maybe they don't want to get financing because they'd be closing on something where in many cases the value today is actually the same or lower than what they've actually bought it for years ago from the builder. That's the situation today. We're seeing some of these pre-construction, and it could be condos, it could be freehold properties where they have closed and then they put the property up for sale right away, and it's selling for less than what they actually bought it for. So my issue is the actual misleading advertising. That scenario that the gentleman, the realtor in the video played out is probably a true story years ago, not today. So be careful about what you see, what kind of advertisement is out there. There is no shortage of people, realtors, anybody in any industry trying to get your attention and advertising to you. The problem is that some of it is misleading and not true, and people will do whatever they can, even if it's not tell the truth, in an ad to get your attention. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, below this video, in the description, there's my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, last week was my birthday. I got this cool shirt. You know, there's lots of people looking for homes where 2 families could live in. Now, normally when I say that, most people are thinking the one family is going to live above grade and the other family is going to live in the finished basement. Well, the home we're promoting, and you can see the video at the end of this video, it's newly built and both families can live above grade. Check out the video at the end of this video. let's get started. Now, normally I would show the numbers based on a weekly basis, but before I get into that, I'm going to show a breakdown by month. I'm going to show it for Toronto detached properties first, and then I'm going to show the data for condos. Again, broken down by month over multiple years. So here's the city of Toronto, detached properties only, broken down by month. The last full month is August 2023, and it goes all the way back to March 2019. So I go back several years. Let's look at sales first. Well, for August, I've got highlighted in black. So you could see every August going back to August 2019. And if we look at the sales for August, 451 detached properties were sold for August that just passed. And normally, if we look at the previous patterns in August, sales peaked at the beginning, say, of spring or around March. In this case, last year sales peaked in March. They went down, and August was very close to the low point, and then they went up again. And the same thing the previous year. They peaked in March for 2021, then declined. August was the low point, and then they went up again. Let's forget about 2020 for a second, because that threw everything off. That's when the world changed. Previous to that, August 2019, they peaked in May, but then declined. August was the low point, and then they went up again in the fall. So the big question mark is, are sales going to go up again this year, which would be a very typical pattern. Now, last year, they didn't go up as much as they did the previous years. But again, 2020, not at all part of the pattern, completely different. The beginning of March, we totally dropped, and then right up to October, sales just kept increasing. 2020 makes no sense when it comes to the whole pattern of what our sales normally are. Let's look at average sold price. $1,635,000 was the average sold price for August 2023. And I've got here percentages, and I've got the August average prices all the way to 2019 in black. And basically what these percentages mean, if you go this way or you go this way, how much does the average price need to drop or increase to go to the year you're pointing to. So if we look at, for example, 2020, August 2020, the current average sold price, if we're going this way, is 9% higher than where the average sold price was in August 2020. If we want the current average sold price to reach 2020 prices, well, we need to drop by 8%. And I think if we're talking 8 or 9%, because we're not that far off from 2021, from 2022, 2021, to get to August 2020, our current average price needs to drop by about 8%. And I think if we say, yeah, you know what, we're probably going to see a decline by 8, 9, 10%, or an increase by 8 or 9, 10%, either way, I think the argument is there, and it's really hard, it's believable. It's really hard to really fight against a 10% movement either way, up or down. But to get to 2019 prices, we need to drop our current average price by 24%. Now, I know there's a camp of people out there that'll say, oh, easily 24% drop, we're going to see it. I don't know. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but it's a lot harder to believe a 24% drop or a 24% increase. It just sounds like a lot to me. But here's where we are now, and to get back to 2019 prices, our current average price needs to drop by 24%. Here's months of inventory broken down by month. For August, the month of inventory is 3 months of inventory, sitting right at the cusp of a balanced market. Just as an example to see here, where months of inventory was the lowest, it was May at 1.3. That's when we had the highest average sold price. And that's the relationship between supply and demand, months of inventory, and prices. As months of inventory drop, prices tend to increase. As months of inventory increases, prices tend to drop. So that's the detached market. Here's the condo market. Similar idea. Average sales have been dropping. The sales for August 2023, 1,086 condo apartments were sold for August 2023. But each year, sales tend to drop to August. Now last year, they kind of flattened out for September, October, November for the fall market. But previously, they dropped to August and then increase. Again, 2020, whole different world. But previously, they drop and go up a little bit. Are we going to see an increase in sales this year? That's the big question mark. Average sold price for August 2023 for condo apartments, $725,000. It's lower than what the average sold price was August last year. And if we go back, if we want to get to August 2019 prices, our current average price needs to drop by 15%. 15% seems possible. It doesn't seem outside of the realm of imagination. It seems possible. It's not that much. But dropping, for the detached market to get back to 2019, we got to drop 24%. I don't know, seems like a lot to me. Months of inventory. Again, May was the lowest months of inventory at 1.7, and we had the highest average sold price. But since then, months of inventory has been increasing. We're now at 3.4, and average price for condos has been dropping. That's the breakdown on a monthly basis. Now back to our regular programming. Here we have average prices, condos, semis and towns, detached, broken down by week for week ending September 6th. In general, over the last 3 months, prices in all these home types has been decreasing. It's been trending down. Here's detached markets, detached properties for week ending September 6th. 71 detached properties were sold. 12 of those were at $2 million or more. Sales has been trending down, very clear. Average price has been trending down. The average price for week ending September 6th is $1,544,000. Now I put here Labor Day weekend. The previous week, in my video, I was talking about this is the week before, prior to Labor Day weekend. Well, this week ending, Labor Day weekend was right in the middle. Labor Day weekend is a big deal when it comes to real estate just because it wreaks havoc on the numbers. Things tend to quiet right down for Labor Day weekend. Well, we can see what's happening here. Sales have been declining. Average price have been declining. Compared to last year, $1,544,000 is 2% higher than where the average sold price was a year ago. The median price of $1.3 million is 2% lower than where the median price was a year ago. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average, and you can see prices and average and median price have been trending down over the last 3 months. Sales, 47% of the sales sold, so less than half of those sales sold at list price or more. Here's the big news. Look at listings. From 1 week to the next, even if you go back multiple weeks, 350 detached properties were listed for week ending September 6th. Now, think about this for a second. Labor Day weekend was right in the middle. Usually, the weekends, we see very few new listings, almost none. Then it's holiday Monday. So if you're not listing on the weekend, you're not listing on holiday Monday either. Some people listed prior to the weekend, but most of these new listings came out in 2 days, September 5th and September 6th. And currently, as I'm filming this, we're beyond September 6th. I can tell you there's a lot more listings coming on the market that are not yet reported here because it's the next weekend. So a ton of new listings, a tidal wave of new listings have hit the market. This could wreak havoc if you're a seller, especially if buyers are not jumping on board. If buyers are jumping on board and buying everything up, well, we're going to see which way supply and demand goes. But if buyers are not buying these up, we're talking a ton of properties on the market. Active listings, no doubt, because of this increase, have been increasing. Months of inventory sitting at 4.4 months of inventory. Previous to that, 3.4. Before that, just hovering close to 3. We're pretty much in a balanced market across the city of Toronto, but that's all of Toronto. Breaking Toronto down into sections. If we say all of Toronto sitting at 4.4 months of inventory, there are pockets outperforming the average for Toronto. Scarborough, for example, is at 3.7 months of inventory. East York's at 3.9. Weston Yorkdale 3.7. 3.9 for Etobicoke. Rexdale Downsview 4.0. Look, there's lots of different examples, lots of different types of market within the city of Toronto. But this was over the course of the Labor Day weekend. Over the next couple of weeks, we're really going to see what's in store for the fall market. Here are semis. 20 semi-detached properties were sold. One of those was at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price sitting at $1,098,000. $1,098,000 is 12% lower than what it was last year at this time. The median price is 13% lower. Prices for semi-detached properties have been trending down. Months of inventory sitting at 3.1. Months of inventory has been increasing. Here's townhouses. 6. Only 6 freehold townhouses were sold across the city of Toronto. Average sold price less than $1 million at $992,000. Compared to last year, that's 9% lower. The median price is 2% higher than where the median price was a year ago, and months of inventory sitting at 5.4 months of inventory. It's really tough when you're talking about 6 properties, or even with semi-detached properties, only 20. The sampling is just not there to get a true feeling of where average sold price or months of inventory or any of this that is for semis and for towns. Condos, 129 condos were sold. Sales went way down with condos, been trending down for a while now. Average sold price sitting at $722,000. $722 is basically where we were this time last year. It was $724 this time last year. Median price is 5% lower. It's $640,000. Average sold price for condo apartments has been trending down. Not as aggressively as the detached market has been doing, but trending down. 28% of the condos that sold at list price or more. So lots of opportunities to negotiate. Very few, less than a third of the condos are selling at list price or more. Listings went from 520 to 647. Active listings has been increasing for the last couple of weeks. Labor Day weekend and so forth was kind of bouncing around up and down a little bit, but we have way more condo listings sitting out there unsold than we've had in a long time. Months of inventory, because sales dropped so much, shoots months of inventory way up to 6.2. Look at that as, hey, there's some opportunities there. However, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see months of inventory for all the home types really level out to truly what is the real months of inventory for that home type. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventory is way up there just because we saw sales totally drop over the Labor Day weekend, so it elevates the months of inventory. Look, pretty much we're sitting at a balanced market. In some areas, we're sitting in a buyer's market. Lots going to happen this fall. It's really interesting. The onslaught of new listings is really changing the game right now. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Welcome to 4027 Bloor Street West in Etobicoke. Before I show you the inside of this home, let me tell you what makes it so unique. It has in all 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each room has its own individual climate control. These are all luxury features you would expect from a custom-built home. But what really stands out in this home is that it was designed from the very beginning for two families to live separate and independent of each other, both above grade. Let me start by showing you the principal residence. So this is the principal residence. Including the finished basement, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, about 3,000 square feet. So here's the finished basement. It has 10-foot ceilings, an entertainment area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a private walk-up to the backyard. So this is the private, self-contained, luxurious secondary suite with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look.